What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here, Warframe. I'm actually quite excited on this update 20.3.0 because it's going to introduce the Oberon changes. So, while I'm not really going to cover any video footage on it in this particular update overview that I'm going to do, know that I will be putting a lot of time into my Oberon, like always, but this time I've got a lot more to play with. So I do want to talk about all his changes, of course. I've been waiting to talk about that for a bit, but as is always the case on updates, Day 1 Access members, we have been given the Cycron pistol and the Lucra Syandana. I probably fucked that all up pretty bad. But, yeah, so there's these two things. We'll take a look at those here in a moment. And then they got the whole Darvo thing going on. But mostly, the big thing here is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi-Dobi. Whoa! Frame rate lag there. So, Obi abilities. I have to actually go through all this now, again. But, so none of that is going to play too much a role. So now we're going to look at this. This is first and foremost, I just kind of want to talk about it in this video in the update, just so kind of you guys have an idea if you haven't taken a look yet. That's what my overviews generally are. We talk about the changes. So the vision for Oberon is his abilities to be a little bit more synergistic between them, and you're going to actually see that in what they did here. They updated the passive. As you can see, allied pets receive health, armor, and shield buffs. So using your Kubros, your Cavets are actually beneficial when you have Oberon. In addition, your pet receives an instant revive as well. So now, I mean, can you go wrong with that? So if your pet goes down, you personally get the instant revive. Your friends, allies are getting all that extra benefits on theirs. That's actually not a bad thing. I don't think that carries over to the Sentinels, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, so now we're looking at it. Smite. It pretty much does the same thing. You've got your initial damage of 500 at max here before you add mods. Number of orbs. Orbs damage is 20% increase. Range, 12.5%. Power range meter here at 50%. The damage from projectiles emitted from enemies now scales based on the enemy level. You heard me. The Smite projectiles now scale based on enemy level. Projectile damage spreads across all projectiles and is affected by your mods. So you can increase the damage, you can increase the range, you can, yeah. So let's take a quick look without me changing mine. So now I can get my initial damage at 900 with my current setup. Number of orbs up to 10. My damage is still at 20%. Range is a little bit bigger. Power orb range in meters 14.38. Power range total is 57.5 meters. So that's as far out as the initial shot will go when I want to cast it. That is actually quite nice to see that we're going to have enemy scale on that damage. So that's a positive in my mind. And then obviously we're going to have the specialty mods for him. I don't know if they're going to change those or not. Now, Hallowed Ground. Okay, we all know what Hallowed Ground does, or what it is. Now it's kind of going to have more of an arc shape.
New alert marked on navigation 10-0.
Shush, Lotus. As they say it, range mods are going to create a wider and longer arc. I like Hallowed Ground. It's going to also have an added status chance that is affected by strength mods. So keep that in mind in terms of your setups. Okay? And they're going to adjust damage and ranges based also on your mods. So currently you take a look, you see your ability rate is 15, angle is 180, damage 100, power duration 20 seconds, status chances at 15. So based off of my current setup, ability radius moves up to 15, angle goes up to a 200, damage goes up to a 180, power duration at 25, status chances now up to 27. Not huge changes. These are things I'm going to have to really look at in terms of changing my setup to fit the Hallowed Ground a little bit better now, but that's not a bad thing. And Hallowed Ground is going to also be playing a role within Renewal and Reckoning now as well. So, back to what it is. Healing waves, we know all about it, right? So you got armor, bleed out, slowdown, buff durations. These are pretty consistent in terms of renewals, what you can and can't do with it. They increase the casting animation speed, so we're going to try that out soon. Change to an expanding wave of healing instead of a projectile. So an expanding wave of healing. Okay. Seems pretty interesting. I don't know how that fully works yet. The energy drain will not start until it hits the first ally. So when that wave hits the first ally, then you'll start your energy drain. Unlike before, your energy drain would start immediately. Okay. Whenever Oberon casts Renewal on an ally that is standing on Hallowed Ground, this is the synergy part, it activates Iron Renewal, which is basically an armor buff. Okay. It's going to grant armor boost for the entire healing process. Once the healing is complete, the armor boost is then put on a timer before the armor boost duration comes out, okay? But that's a nice thing. So now you're standing on Hallowed Ground, you're getting armor boost, you're getting healed at the same time. Pretty significant change there. Also, Renewal will not now won't stop when the target ally is at full health. It will continue to heal as long as it is active. So you're going to have to remember to turn it off yourself. Once you put it on, you're going to have to remember to turn it off. But if you don't turn it off, then really I would say essentially as your allies take damage, they're able to get healed back a little bit as well if you have it on and you can maintain the energy flow. Because it's going to come down to energy flow, right? So taking a look at where I'm at here, my armor increase up to 360 on here. Bleed out slow, 56% slowed. Buff durations up to 25. I'm using only 4 energy per second. Heal time over 8 seconds. Or the initial heal is 720 now. Right? No. Heal over time is 720. My initial heal is up to 225. I'm sorry. Power duration 2.22. Power range 28 meters. So these are numbers, again, you're going to have to play around with based off of what you want to do. But remember the synergizing of this with Hallowed Ground now. So if somebody's actually standing on that Hallowed Ground, they will get the armor buff as well on top. Now, Reckoning, this is going to be different. Enemies within a radiation status chance will now take bonus damage from Reckoning. So even though they don't get hit with Reckoning, if they're close enough to that radiation damage, they will take that status chance as well. Or, I'm sorry, let me repeat myself. Enemies with a radiation status chance, so enemies that can potentially take radiation damage, will get that from Renewal, or from Reckoning. Wow, I can't speak. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of excited about this. And enemies standing on Hallowed Ground will receive armor debuffs affected by power strength mods. So you can debuff the armor of enemies if they're walking on your Hallowed Ground. Okay, again, I'm going to currently, this is based off the latest setup that I had posted, a while back. Armor reduction up to 54%. Still get my blind duration and range. Damage is up to 2250. Extra damage is now an extra 1125 on top of that for the radiation status chance. Okay. My heal orb drop rate is still 50%, and my power range is at 17 meters. So I'm actually pretty happy with these numbers that they come up here. Not saying that any of this is perfect. Obviously, it's going to take some time to work out the changes, but I am quite excited about it, if you will. Now, there were some changes also to the Zenith. I don't have the Zenith yet. I've got 6 more days left. If you guys remember, I had posted videos a while back about when I had issues and I wasn't able to get the daily logins. I've had that happen many times, so that's just why it's at where it's at. Let's take a look at the Cycron. How about that? Cycron, because it's a little, Cycron. Let's take a look at this bad boy, okay? Just so we can take a look at it and see what it is. Dash, dash, polarity, double dash, double dash. Accuracy's at 100%, critical chance at 5, multiplier, fire rate's at 5, magazine's at 20, reload, status chance is a high 30, and it's base heat damage. So there's a number of different things that you can do with that, and it's a held trigger. We'll play around with it and see how I like it. I'll probably follow up with you guys on what I feel like in terms of how well I like it or not, but direct setups, I don't really know what I could tell you. Obviously, you can't use like your impact or nothing like that, but you can still use your standards, your barrel diffusions, and obviously you could add frostbite in here. That'll put you right up into a blast range because that'll combine. 48% status chance just right off the bat. Just some ideas here. Heated charge, throw that sucker in there. Look at that number change actually. And if you've got prime heated charge, right? Prime heated charge, you just throw that bad boy up in there. Really big numbers come along with it. Lots of different things that you could do with this. So just kind of play around with it, and you'll see. You'll see the different stuff as well. Okay. Yeah, this should be interesting. It's on the market here. I guess we could take a look at it. Or it's in your Corpus Clan tech research for this particular weapon. Okay, so you got to get your tech research and get that crafted. I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. It could be scary in terms of items to craft. And let's also, while I'm standing here, let's come under appearance and let's take a look at my attachments and my favorite Syandana for Oberon. Okay, but we're looking now at a new one. So let's come up here. Let's find you. This is the new one. Wow, that's pretty cool looking. The gold of the blue, so it's a little bit of the yeah, flaunt the prosperity, if you will, with a constant stream of financial data. If those financial data would get into my wallet, I'd be even happier. But yeah, no, I actually like this one. That's pretty interesting. I like the way they've got that set up there. It's unique for sure, and the gold style off of there. I don't know if that's just because of my color that I'm using. I guess it would be partially because of the color that I'm using. Yep. So that's how I get that gold. That's awesome looking. I like it, but I gotta be honest, guys. For me, there's only one Syandana that works. Well, maybe two, but for Oberon, for me, it's always gonna be this one because this one is just epic looking for me on him. But that's just the way it is. There's several other changes that have also happened as well. Of course, I'll have them posted on the non-community forums. You can obviously go check them out on the Warframe forums. Easy to find my stuff over there. Otherwise, I'm going to get into some gameplay, do some testing, playing around with the new Oberon stuff. So expect some video footage of that at some point. It's still a pretty busy week. But maybe we'll hit some time up here on the weekend and definitely get some more detail about my thoughts on the changes to Oberon and where that stands. Alright, stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I'll catch you guys soon.